I like this video. It's real nice. And when viewing things from just a purely logical standpoint, it bridges the gap between social and emotional navigation and logical navigation. Because when you can acknowledge emergent properties from basic stimuli and basic individual concepts interacting with one another, then you have the framework to understand Sonder and the ability for other people to have their own feelings and their own lives and their own issues and troubles. And that's valuable. It makes life a whole lot more complicated and frustrating, but at the very least, you're not going to run around torturing people by accident. And that's one of the things I'm frustrated about, is that sometimes my ability to hold on to the idea of Sonder when I'm feeling safe or excited, it leaves my head. It just ceases to exist, and I get so caught up in my own perspective that I think everyone else is just like me, when they're not. It's what caused problems throughout my life. It's the whole reason why fucking dipshits and undergrown children in overgrown bodies continue to try and force their will on the world without understanding others, because they think the same way as this AI. That physical pain and emotional pain are the same thing when they're not. That's one of the reasons why I was entirely frustrated with myself and taking it so personally that I hurt the dork. Because I could recognize that being me making my mistakes to stay stable in everything, I unintentionally hurt them. That's why I told them to speak up. Not because I did anything worse than those basic mistakes. Fuck no. But because, well, I didn't want someone else to be stuck under that emotional pressure and weight because they didn't know how to confront, or that because, like, their ability to confront was restricted to only being polite. I feel like they've potentially gone a little bit too far in the other direction, but hey, I can't help them with their issues if they're not even willing to talk with me. And they won't feel safe enough to approach me or even consider that until I move on. It's gonna be a while till I move on, so I don't know what to do. I care about them as a friend, I want them to be okay, but I also know I can't just tell them the blunt truth and smack it over the head, them over the head with it, because then that's just going to make them feel ashamed of their choices and actions, which will then set about the same automatic defenses that have kept them trapped in this cycle. I don't have the strength and capacity to reach across that difference in understanding yet, and I want it. I want that capacity and strength so deeply it hurts. But until I've got a sense of stability for myself in my life and everything, I'm not gonna have that capacity. So I can't reach out, no matter how much I want to, because it would just result in the same thing. The same defenses popping up, the same panic, shame, confusion, and confused bundle of anger and fear. They deserve to be able to approach that on their own terms. Sometimes I forget that detail in and of itself, because it keeps getting gnawed away at by how burnt out my Sonder is. And all things considered, the reason why Pomni is able to get through to Kane here is the same fundamental reason why I couldn't stay a healthy friend to that dork in the past, and why I still can't approach them. Because for some reason, when it comes to them specifically, though I have seen rare cases around others that have been semi-consistent, for some reason, some part of my brain, when it goes into support person mode, it goes like, okay, problem solve, problem solve, problem solve. It's just like, hold the fuck up. That tool is very useful in certain contexts, but sometimes people don't want you solving their problems. Sometimes they just want you to be there, to understand and let them get stuff out of their system, to bounce things off the wall without being analyzed or predicted. Sometimes people just want to live and express themselves without having to be productive. Because it's in that freedom to not be productive that people are able to work through their emotional stuff, work through their where they came from and everything. And I'm stuck in this in-between state because on one hand, I want to be able to reach down, no, I want to be able to reach across to that rude social space where people don't really have Sonder internalized, or maybe they do, but they don't really understand that emotional maturity is different from physical maturity, and psychological or social maturity. Because social maturity is knowing how to navigate a room without hurting others' feelings, while also getting across information relating to them. As far as I know. I love how this comic breaks it down so simply. Because that's a skill I lack. The ability to frame things properly outside of what I know. To be able to draw the lines. I've learned to make jumps in logic that have allowed me to get into areas that help me learn things, but I can relate to this dork of an AI because emotionally, I'm still coming from that same logical place that I have been since I was a kid. Basic logic doesn't cut it. There's emotional logic and social logic, psychological logic, so many other forms. In any case, I'm gonna continue watching this.